Now, in today's video, we're taking a look at a brand new e-bike from HOVSCO, and this is the Ultra. This bike has range. We're talking about over 150-mile range, and it's fast too. So in today's video, we'll take a look at all its features, we'll take it on a ride, and you'll see why you'll be wanting to consider this as your e-bike this year. Let's check it out. Now, this bike follows a trend that we're seeing in the market where the bikes look like motorcycles, except with pedals. A couple things that I just wanted to highlight about this bike. First of all, you have a 1,500 watt motor, and that's in the back. So you can see that right there in the back is where you have your powertrain. It doesn't have a dual powertrain, just a rear powertrain itself. Now, the top speed for this bike, we expect it to hit around 32 miles per hour. I weigh around 180 pounds, and we're going to be testing how well this thing performs. It's going to be able to support weight up to, check this out, 450 pounds. You'll notice how large that saddle is in the back. The fact that that saddle is so big or long means that it's going to be able to accommodate two riders. Now, I don't have any pegs in the back. I wish it did have some pegs, because if it had the pegs, then you can have your primary rider and your secondary rider in the back. And we do this quite often, Nilda and I. There is an Android iOS app as well. And from a range perspective, you're looking at anywhere from 65 to 150 miles. Now, that's going to vary based on a couple things. If you contribute to pedaling, also your weight plays a role. And obviously, if you have two people on this bike, it's going to be difficult to have that kind of range if you're running with two people. But despite that, you have fantastic range. The tires themselves are already pretty nice too. I'm going to take a closer look at the tires themselves, but the tires, I have to tell you, are really beefy, and you can see that they're, again, all-terrain tires, both front and back. Now, the tires themselves are 20-inch by 4-inch, again, all-terrain tires. And you do have some bike features, right? Because we've been talking about the power, the range, but the bike is definitely there. You have a 7-speed Shimano system as well. And from a height perspective, this is like one of the top questions I get also on the channel, is how tall can a rider be? We've already covered the fact that you could go all the way up to 450 pounds, but the height is anywhere from 5'2" to 6'4". 5'2" to 6'4". So this is going to give you a lot of flexibility when it comes to the riding. And it does weigh quite a bit. Like the product itself, the bike itself is around 77 pounds. Not quite 80 pounds, but it's definitely up there. It's a heavy bike. That's just some of the things that you can see. It does have hydraulic brakes, right? So it has front and back hydraulic brakes, which is going to give you, again, a really good stopping force. And you do have 5 levels of pedal assist. Let's take a closer look and we'll see more about this bike, because it's a great looking bike. Now, one of the things that you'll notice in the back is that it does have a rear, almost like a rear dual shock suspension system. So the cool thing about this is that I would put this in the category of being a soft tail bike. They're defined as soft tail when you're able to have support in the back and it's not hard, right? Typically, some of the bikes don't have any shocks in the back, but this one does. In the front, you do have a front fork suspension as well. And you'll notice that the fenders that you have in front and back are made out of like a plastic material, and that plastic material means that it's going to be worry-free. Polycarbonate is my guess, and it's going to not have any rust. You can see the brakes in the front. You can see the brake discs in the back as well. And then the pedals are pretty standard pedals. Now, what I like about this bike, though, is the fuel gauge. On the top right there, you have a fuel gauge that's very similar to like you would have on a motorcycle. You push the button and you can see how much power you have. You have nice grips right here on the side. These grips, one of the things I will tell you that it's missing, and I wish it did have, is I wish it had like the palm supports, right? Right now, this is more like of a motorcycle style, so it has no palm supports, but you can see you have your brakes right here. Brakes are responsive. You have decent cable management as well. And then you do have a very healthy display there in the front, as well as in the back. If we look at the back right there, you'll notice that we also have a braking system. Does not have turning lanes, right? Does not have turning lanes or lights. You do have a control cluster right here that you can control different aspects of power, light. You have your horn. And then you also then have this is something that I added, a little phone mount. You can choose any kind of phone mount you have. You do have a set of keys, and you'll notice that the actual support, this is more, again, the front fork is very, very motorcycle-like. So let's take a look at that right there. So you can see how that looks. And then it has a very generous light in the front. Decent cable management. I haven't removed all the twist ties off of it, but again, this is what the bike looks like in the front. It does have a gear shift system right here. This is your bike shift. And I'll tell you from my riding experience, it does really well.
it didn't really experience any problem switching from gear to gear. And you can see, we'll see on the other side in a second what the carriage system looks like. Now, before taking a look at the carriage system, I want to highlight one thing. You do have an adapter here, a plug, and then a switch for your power, and then you have an independent plug and switch for your power to be able to have both of those batteries running at the same time. And charging, by the way, you have to charge them independently. All right, on this side, you get another good look at the actual, again, the gear system for the actual bike function. And once again, this is a bike, right? The only difference is that it has batteries and it goes fast. So here you have the key system to remove the batteries if you want to do that. I would not leave this bike outside. I'd put this in storage, put this in a basement, but you can take the batteries off if you'd like to. Now, while this bike does have pedals, it's really designed to be ridden in a motorcycle type format or style, very similar to like if you were riding a moped. And you can see here, let me go ahead and do a little bit of pedaling. You can see kind of like the length of the actual pedal. It's a very pedalable bike, if that's even a real word. So you can pedal with this. Obviously, if you're taller than I am, and I'm 5'6", probably your knees are gonna come up a little bit too high, but you can see here, I'm pedaling without any real effort, and the bike is doing really well. It's definitely a bike that you can pedal. It doesn't have the height of other bikes, of traditional bikes, but this kind of motorcycle format is something that you can pedal. If I were to increase, let's say, the pedal assist mode, which is right now on level 3, you can see that I'm going around 13 miles an hour with very, very little effort. I'm gonna come back down to 0, and here, this is all human power that's going on here. I do have my gear shift system here on the side where I can go up and down. I tend to ride my bikes on a heavy gear. I like on one of the heaviest gears personally, but even on the heaviest gear, it's very comfortable. As far as shocks and comfort, soft tail, like we mentioned, we were taking a closer look at the bike. Front, you do have that double, that motorcycle-like suspension in the front. It's not adjustable, so I've had other bikes that have kind of like where you can adjust it from a hard to a soft. You don't really have that here, but in this case, I'm not really missing it at all because I think they've chosen a good, I would say, pressure or ride experience when it comes to the bike. So I'm really good with it. Now, most bikes have a couple different type throttles. They either have a twist throttle, right? Or what they have is they have thumb throttle. I typically have it on this side. For this bike, it's actually on this side. So right here on the side, I have my throttle. So you can see, and it's a thumb throttle. It's not a twist throttle, it's a thumb throttle. Now, there's pros and cons to that. Sometimes if you have the twist throttle, I've noticed many people actually choose or turn the throttle inadvertently, and the bike, because this is not a kick to start bike, this is actually a throttle and go bike, they have hurt themselves. So the fact that this has a distinct throttle on the side and it's not a twist one really makes that separation, and it has to be very purposeful when you're going to go ahead and hit that throttle. So here I'm hitting the throttle, you can see the bike going. The actual brake mechanisms, the left and the right brake, or the front and the back rear brake, are easy to access, very similar to what you would find in a traditional bike. So everything feels very natural. As far as the bike goes, it doesn't really make any noise outside of the noises that you get from a standard bike. We're going to get onto the grass here, be a little bumpy for a bit, but it pretty much sounds like a bike. Obviously, with the exception of the power, right? 1,500 watts of power. So you don't have the pedal if you don't want to. Now the range, because it has those two batteries, one here and one here, is going to give you some really nice range. Anywhere from 60 to 100 miles on this. Obviously, your weight is going to vary with that mileage. The actual number of, your throttle is also going to make a big difference if you're running on the highest setting or not, or going top speed. And if you're pedaling, that's also going to make a difference. I tend to pedal with mine. And the exception is only if I don't really have, if I have a passenger like Nilda. Nilda would easily sit on the back. Like I would ride this a little bit closer, like you see me right here. This is where I would ride the bike if I had a passenger in the back. So my riding position for pure electric is like you see right here, with my knees kind of bent, both at the same level, and riding the bike right here. When you're in electric mode, like I am here, and I'll go ahead and speed up a little bit, you do hear the powertrain. So there is you hear some of the mechanics of the motor, like I don't want to call it humming or vibrating, but there's a vroom kind of that takes place, and I kind of hear that right now as I'm going. The cool thing is that, so I'm at level 3, and this is a consistent speed. So I don't feel jerkiness. I don't feel like sudden, jumps in it at all. And what you're seeing is the actual speed of a full throttle event at this type speed. Now, keep in mind that we have a couple others. It's right now registering at around 14 miles an hour. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and I'm going to increase the actual mode all the way up to its highest level. Let's make sure we're at the highest level. Here we go. And we're going to see, just on a normal, how fast this bike is going to go. All right, so we're right now at around 18, 19 miles an hour. We're seeing 16. Let me go ahead and adjust this a little bit because I think we could go faster. Okay, so now we're at level 5. And let's go ahead and see how fast we're going to be able to go on this. And we're going to do a 0 to whatever and see how well it does. So here you can see I'm picking up 24, 28, 28 miles, 26. We'll see if 27, 28. Yeah, I don't think I'll hit the 32. Now, one piece of advice, when I first received the bike and I filled up the tires, I was getting kind of like a sound where the front tire is hearing this vrum, 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 vrum. And basically that meant that the air was not really distributed evenly on the tire. Some people call it like there's like a little egg somewhere in the tire. So what I had to do is let it sit for a while and then also lower the air pressure. So what we're going to do here is we're going to come to almost a complete stop, and I want to see how well the pickup is. Now, the one thing I will highlight is that this has a really nice display. So the display, again, gives you some really nice, it gives you the metrics. It gives you speed. It gives you the trip miles. It gives you your pass mode, which right now we're on 5. And then it shows you your battery level. All right, so from here, what we're going to do is we're going to see how fast, and we'll go ahead and do that now from a 0 to see how fast we can get to top speed. And I can feel it. Like when I did that, I felt the actual front fork lift. We're at 13 miles an hour, 16 miles an hour, 19 miles an hour, 22 miles an hour, 22, 24, 25, 26, 26, 27, 28, 28, 28, 28 miles an hour. I don't think I'll hit the 32, so I'm getting a top speed of 28. Now I went ahead and changed the view so that you guys could see how things look like from the driver's perspective, what's going on ahead of me. So here you can see the ride view. What can I say? It's a very forward-facing, clear display. Nothing in the way. It's a very enjoyable bike to ride. Especially given the power range. Since you have that power, you also have that 1,500 watts with that 60 to 100 mile range. You could go far. You could go far definitely here in Chicago. This is our first really, really nice day. It's 88 degrees, so I was really looking forward to getting out. We're going to do a speed test in a couple seconds to see how fast it's going based on the speed cam. Right now, our clock speed is 28 miles an hour. 28 miles an hour. Very comfortable 28 miles an hour. All right, so we have a speed cam coming up, and we'll be able to see how real or how accurate the speed is on this bike. We're going to go ahead and go to top speed of 28 again. And what I'll tell you is I'm still feeling a little of that bumpiness coming from the front tire. I think I'm going to have to lower the air completely and then fill it up again to see if that gets away. Right now I'm clocked at 28 miles an hour, 28. I'll get in what I call my pole position and see if we're hitting it. It says 25 miles. So it's slightly off. So we're definitely getting around 25 miles an hour on it. And then again, my weight is of 180 and 5'6", getting, again, the 25 radar confirmed speed versus the 28 miles that this thing says, or the 32 that is registered on the specs. Still not bad. It does feel like it has good power, so I'm pretty happy with what we got. Now we'll go through this nature path a little bit. Won't go terribly fast here. Typically, they've done a lot of work on our path, so it's pretty smooth. Not a lot of bumps. There's some bumps that will come up. But, again, like I said, with this bike, you feel just what a bike feels. just like a bike. So not really intimidating. I don't think that the ride is one that you should be afraid of. I would actually recommend this bike if you're looking for something that has range, if you're looking for something that, and they fixed a lot of our path, which I kind of love. I mean, I'm looking for the bumps and the bumps are just not there. Nice, right? So if you're looking for something that has range, has great cargo capacity, 450 pounds total capacity, you know what, this is a solid yes. Definitely a solid yes. Really, really nice. Gotta love Chicago weather. When it gets nice in Chicago, it gets nice.
So guys, that wraps up our review. See you in the next video.